going on, man? How you doing?
Good, excited. We just got done doing some great filming. So for those of you that
Yep.
are tuning in right now and watching this live as it goes, if you guys have questions or anything we can answer along the way, throw those in the comments. We will be seeing those. If you're not, hey, no problem. But just got done filming some content today that we're going to, I think, release Saturday, right, on Solstice.
Yes.
And Sterling Ranch and some of the parks. Excited for that, but even more excited today for the live, because today, getting right into it, we're going to be covering Fox Park, i.e. the Denver World Trade Center. Denver is getting a World Trade Center. Awesome.
Right.
We're covering Ball Arena, and the stadium's already there. It's just everything that's going to be going around it. We've been kind of hinting at it with everything else that's been going up. Excited for that conversation. I'm also curious. You guys will have to stay tuned while we're inside of that one, because I'm curious where they're going to fit Elitch Gardens / what you guys are more commonly known as Six Flags. They adopted the local name, so we call it Elitch Gardens here, all of us natives, but it's known as Six Flags. But I'm curious because some renderings are showing it there, some are not. So I'm just curious how they're going to fit that. We've got some cool updates for DIA, and then we're also going to get into like the largest sport complex known to man. Probably not known to man. That's my own exaggeration.
At least known to Douglas County.
Sure. Somewhere in between known to man or known to Douglas County. Either way, it's going to be huge. Now, we do have a sports complex that we're going to cover at some point out in Northfield, which is by Central Park and the actual Northfield Shopping Center, which I'm sure we're going to dive into. That's going to be a part of like our I-70 expansion content that we get to soon. But today we're talking about these. And man, these are awesome builds, and really excited for everybody to kind of see more of this.
Yeah. So starting off, guys, as Will mentioned, this Fox Park development, it's an area of Colorado known as Globeville right now. And Globeville previously was really in the past, long time ago, that's where the Denver Post printed their papers, right? And it's long since abandoned. And that whole area, probably due to the amount of chemicals and everything within the printing process, has been notoriously just like undeveloped, very industrial. It's a very ugly part of Denver right now, to be honest. Yet, what's interesting is it gets
strong.
Oh, it's ugly. It's ugly. I'll say it. It's ugly.
For like urban photos, for like Lambos and lifestyle photo shoots and all the
100%. I'll give you that.
Culture nowadays, a little strong.
I'll give you that 100%. Yeah. Now, with this area, and I'll show you guys exactly where this is, it gets so much traffic because it's right at the intersection of two of our major highways. I-25 runs north and south, and then I-70, which runs east and west. I'm going to do a screen share real quick to show you guys what this is before we show you all the cool stuff that is coming over here, because this is going to be a really, really exciting part of Denver, which previously has just been a completely non-exciting part of Denver at all. An area that you pretty much just
blow that up. Ruben,
drive
what's up,
through.
Man? Appreciate you saying hello.
Yeah, while we're doing this too, as you guys join, we love hearing where you guys are from. So we've got a few people in here already. So if you do want to throw in the chat where you guys are watching, whether that's Colorado, some other state, we love hearing where you guys are tuning in from. And thank you guys for being. So looking at this, you're going to see I-70 running across the northern border here, east and west. You've got I-25 split up in the middle. And then this whole sort of red outline here. So let me just do a sort of a crude outline. This is all going to be what's considered Globeville. All right. Now, the area in question, you've got all these little homes right here, which is a very, very small pocket. And a lot of these homes are built in the 1920s, 1930s. There are some deep roots in Denver here, and you haven't seen any developments really pop up here whatsoever. The area where we're looking at doing this big Globeville redevelopment in this World Trade Center Denver campus that Will's talking about is going to be right here. Again, right at the intersection of the two biggest highways. So what I want to do here is jump over and show you guys.
Eli, real quick, if we can, while you're on that map, because I know we've been referencing these past couple weeks where, you know, Ball Arena is the current Mile High Stadium / Invesco Field for the Broncos. Can we reference that a little bit and just give everybody kind of a bird's eye view as far as where we're at? Because we're literally right on top of it. And when we talked last week about the new Denver Broncos Stadium coming, if you guys haven't seen that, it's incredible. We covered that last week. You know, you've also got this new development that's literally going on top of that same intersection that Auraria campus, Ball Arena, Elitch Gardens, the current Mile High Stadium is. it's all kind of like roughly right over there, which is why some of this gets congested. So now that they're moving the new football stadium south, if you guys have any questions on that, we can reference a link in our video once this is posted to show you guys that last video that we did covering the stadium. This is just going to free up a lot of this congestion. So, you know, and just another reason why they should, because this development that they're doing for this World Trade Center per se is going to be magnificent, but it's also going to bring a lot of traffic, not just local traffic, but international, worldwide traffic in here to the heart of Denver, and you're going to want to free some of that up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So to mention a couple of those points that Will just pointed out, right down here, Will, if I'm not mistaken, I know it's labeled Meow Wolf, but right here, this is the Mile High Stadium currently, right?
Correct. Yeah, because you're just off of like the Auraria campus exit, correct?
Yep. There we go. All right, Mile High Stadium, perfect. Empower Field at Mile High, I should say.
Yes.
And then right here, this is where you're going to find Elitch Gardens, which is going to be a talking point for later in this video. But just to give you guys some reference points, and then just right up here is the whole area that is going to get redeveloped.
Yes.
So coming over to one of the sites here, they're calling it like Fox Park is technically that little area. As we scroll down here, let me jump over and show you guys some of the renderings that they have here. Oh, and actually, you know what? I got to click on another link. Here we go.
Perfect. So we're going to be just north down the highway, right? Just north on I-25. Yep. You're going one, maybe two exits down to your next major intersection. So you guys can imagine what the traffic would be over the course of like those two intersections if they weren't moving the stadium down further south. So spreading all of this out, but just true to Colorado, we've done a great job, or at least my opinion, I feel like we've done a great job at our traffic, our infrastructure. Even during rush hour, we average like 37 or 32 miles an hour, even during rush hour. And that's because they tend to break it up a lot. So a lot of the things that are going to be happening until then are those things. But I like seeing just even the structure of where they're going to locate these things. I feel like it's still congruent with keeping traffic as best as possible here in Colorado.
Yes. Yeah, agree. So a couple bullet points here. You're looking at a 41 acres is going to be this entire development. They're going to be adding over 2 million square feet of office space in 4 different phases, 3,400 residential units planned. Now, this is huge, guys, because, again, we don't have enough homes in Denver, right? There is a housing shortage. So that's where you're seeing a lot of these, pretty much every single one of these big developments that Will and I have been talking about on these lives. They're always going to be incorporating hundreds, if not thousands, of new residential units in these areas. So 3,400.
I love this, brother, because, you know, when we talk about like a shortage of homes, like in Denver, like just being more specific, we're talking about like the downtown, actual like inner city side of Denver, correct? Like when we talk a lot about suburbs and different cities and things in and around Denver. We do that on a lot of our normal videos that you guys see every Saturday. But we talk about like just the heart of Denver. It's not really like a Chicago or some of these other major cities where
100%.
you do see a lot of downtown living. Well, a lot of these developments that we've been talking about these past couple of weeks are literally enhancing just the whole downtown living experience. So when Eli's talking about, you know, shortage of homes per se, it's really focusing on the downtown style of living here. But again, just true to making it more of a major city, these things are going to help a ton.
Exactly. And when Will talks about that, like we're talking, you know, grocery stores and like other convenience stores and restaurants, like literally places where you can live, work, and dine without needing to leave your community. So 3,400 residential units planned, 14 acres of public parks and open spaces. And they're doing that in partnership with the Denver Botanic Gardens. So if you guys aren't familiar with the Botanic Gardens, it's a super cool place. Go check it out when you're visiting. But again, true to Colorado nature, I say this all the time, they're always trying to incorporate nature with any of these developments. So you can expect tons of open space, trees, flowers, water features, things like that, all open to the public, which I think is great. And one of these other renderings that you're going to see here, I'll come back to that one. Let's see here. I'm going to bring this picture over here. Un momento. Right here. So you're going to see a Virgin hotel right here, which again, super cool. Boutique hotel coming in here. I think that's going to bring a lot of people. And we do need more, just what I would call like landmark hotels in Colorado. There are some great ones in Colorado, or in Denver rather, but they're right downtown. And I like these because these give you really cool spots that are just outside of downtown while still having close proximity to downtown.
Agreed. This is all going to be just on the outskirts of like all of your major buildings, 16th Street Mall, Market Street, all the heart of like downtown Denver. This is literally just blocks away, walking distance, but just off the beaten path of all of these. But again, true, like that World Trade Center like feel probably where it needs to be. But it's also nice, man, because as you know, like those are going to be competition for other things in downtown Denver. It's going to allow everything to level itself up.
Oh, yeah. And they're also looking at a large music venue here as well. I don't know how big, but we definitely just need more areas for live performance. If you guys are familiar with like the what is it's escaping me right now.
Yep.
What is the Denver Center for Performing Arts?
Yeah.
There's that theater. Is it not the Buell Theater? It is the Buell right there where they do like operas and ballets and stuff.
Timothy Buell engineered that,
like
right?
that.
You know that story. You know how I know that.
I know.
Long story for another day and probably for a little whiskey, not diet ginger ale, right? Like,
there we go.
We're near and dear to his family.
Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and read you guys just this quick section from here. I think this summarizes it perfectly. So it says World Trade Center Denver complex of 600,000 square feet will be a modern multi-use urban center, including a cultural center, international exhibit hall, whatever that is, Virgin Hotel, performing arts theater, a conference center, global and local restaurants, retail, fitness center, pickleball courts, a marker space, not sure what that is, and art galleries. World Trade Center Denver's new corporate offices expected to open in 2027. You know what's crazy is we're looking at these massive developments. I always think these are going to be like 10-year plans until they say that it's going to be open in 2027. And part of the reason that they're able to do that is because World Trade Center is building within and upon the old Denver Post building. So that building is already there that they're going to be building on.
So marker space, correct me if I'm wrong, right? I'm just going to give you guys a quick Google thing on that. But it says a marker space is a community space that provides access to a variety of tools, technologies, and resources for people to create, build, and learn new skills. So it could be something specific to that. And it might be more specific to the performing arts. Who knows? Could be some things that
interesting.
Like I know, like with my kids in school, a lot of times they'll take field trips down to performing arts centers and things like that. And it could be something that's utilized by schools as well. But looks like that's what I can find on online. Eli.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. Wonderful. So guys, what this means for downtown again is just that, Denver is completely transforming. And I think that Denver is going to look completely different even as soon as the next 5 years. Right. And, for one thing that we've both said for a long time, is that Denver is just big enough and just small enough. Right. But one of the things just personally I experience in Denver when we're talking, the city of Denver and downtown is that it is just lacking new and exciting things. I've been here for 25 years just about now. And up until probably the last couple years, downtown has remained relatively the same, with a couple exceptions, with like, the Rhino Art District developing and some things like that. But really, we haven't seen the amount of changes that are going to be coming in the next 5 years in the previous 20 years, I feel. So ultimately, this is just putting a lot of great things in Colorado.
And that's the negative in me when I'm like, yeah, hey, good. I don't mean good as in I don't want Denver to grow, but I mean good as in there's a lot of really cool when Eli says things like, hey, it's just big enough, but just small enough. And you still recognize or know people, or you might run into a friend downtown because both of you guys are going to dinner, whatever it may be. There's a good vibe to that. When you look at, I think like per cap, we have the most outdoor park setting areas of downtown of any state. They've done a great job with that in some of these like master plan communities in suburbia. And would it be nice to have more? Absolutely. But I feel like with these designs and these plans where they incorporate using like botanical gardens when they're, doing the World Trade Center, and they're paying that much attention to the outdoor experience and to the Colorado feel. As much as I'm excited for more to come and for more locals to enjoy, but also for more attraction for everybody that's moving to Colorado, I like that. I feel like they're also doing it the right way. So that might be the native in me where you still have pride. You still remember what it felt like to grow up in Colorado. People still say hello to you when you walk by them. People still hold doors. If you hold a door for someone, they say thank you. You'll see people holding doors for you. I like that feel, and a lot of times if something grows too fast, maybe sometimes you lose some of that personal side to it. But I feel like from what we've been looking at so far, from the research we've been doing and the looks of it, it feels like we're still going to have that atmosphere in Colorado. And again, Eli, that's a lot of reason why people move here. They don't necessarily need more. They need better and experiences and things you can do outdoors, the experience you can have when you're going out or participating in certain activities. It's Colorado, right?
That's a great way to put it.
So like, more isn't necessarily always better. I feel like they're doing this the right way though. So in these circumstances, I feel like it does give us a lot to look forward to.
Yeah. Now, the next topic we have here that we're going to dive into, this one, again, very excited for this. I want to show you guys where we were and where we're going before we drop this.
Sir.
So, again, zooming out just a little bit, that Fox Park, Globeville area, again, right here at I-70 and I-25. We're going to go just a little bit south on I-25 to this red dot here, Ball Arena. Now, Will, while I pull up the next one, give people some context. What happens at Ball Arena currently?
Everything Eli doesn't watch, sports. Thanks for that, all you. That's a basketball term, Eli. Like that. Hey, guys, I'm not making fun of Eli. He's just not the biggest sports guy. He's more into martial arts, and it's all great stuff. I just like giving him a hard time. But Ball Arena is home of the Denver Nuggets. We're world champions. We've got a great season going on right now. It's also home to the Colorado Avalanche, our hockey team. We've got a couple Stanley Cups there, and they're also having a great season as well. So it's all of your indoor professional sports teams. It's right across the highway from the Mile High Stadium. You also have a lot of like indoor big concerts, right? Garth Brooks, Jason Aldean, Chris Brown, you name it. That's where they go. It is your mega, stadium for anything large basketball. So depending on where you guys are coming from, wherever the Chicago Bulls play, where the Golden State Warriors play, like the Oracle Arena, things like that. That's Ball Arena. It's awesome. It is absolutely huge, but it's also a little bare on the outside of it. Not bare as in like boring, but you do have a lot of parking space there. You do have some areas where it could be developed. They've been talking about this for years. As they're starting to move the football stadium, which is literally right across the highway, and that does, it doesn't sound like it matters. It does, because in the middle, in between all of those, you've got some overflow parking right next to Ball Arena that accommodates the football stadium. And a lot of times, depending on the time of season, you do have football games that are on like Thursday night football, Monday night football. You could also have a Nuggets game going on at the same time, or a concert. We went to a Bronco game the other, a couple weeks ago. There was a concert going on. So you've still got parking that has to accommodate. So the fact that the Bronco Stadium is going to move further south, it's definitely opening up some more space for them to develop. And I'm guessing, Eli, where the old stadium is, we haven't really talked about it yet, but I'm wondering what they're going to be doing with the old stadium, the old Bronco Stadium that they're in right now. Yep. I wonder if that's going to be more parking and things like that, just to accommodate the World Trade Center, to accommodate the things around Ball Arena and all of those good things. But, what's really cool is you've got this really awesome focal centerpiece of Ball Arena right in the heart, just off of Spear Boulevard, just to the south of all of downtown, literally blocks, walking distance from Market Street, you name it, right? Like, it's all right there. And there's so many different like housing opportunities you could put right there for people that want to experience downtown living. What better place? There is some space there. So really excited for that, but getting into it, right? Let's kind of talk about the development, what they plan. And this is where I also just want to talk about where the heck they still think they're going to put Elitch Gardens. They say they're going to do their best to kind of hold on to it. The plans are to keep it right now, but depending on which rendering you're looking at, it's not there. And some of it is. So we'll be curious.
Yeah. So to give you guys some bullet points real quick here. So this whole area is about 64 acres, and it is owned by Kroenke Sports and Entertainment. And that is important because that is the same organization that just purchased the River Mile project, which we spoke to a couple of weeks ago, which is also the one that is going to be redeveloping that whole area around the Elitch Gardens, Six Flags development that is there right now. So the River Mile area is going to blend seamlessly into this new Ball Arena area. And out of this, it is going to be 10 to 12 million square feet of mixed use office, retail, and residential space. they're planning on 6,000 new residential units. So just between this development and the Globeville redevelopment, you're looking at about 10,000 new residential units added to a very small, considerably small area of Denver, which again, I want to emphasize has been previously just unused for anything like this. So really good use of space here, in my opinion. And then again, all of this, the big focus on this whole area is going to be walkability. So as I kind of go through a couple of these things here, I wanted to show you guys this one because here you'll see on the top, you've got the River Mile neighborhood community development that is going to be happening up here. You have the Ball Arena complex. All of this right here is the new Ball Arena development with, big parks and buildings and restaurants all throughout. But then as you can see here, all these red arrows, they're going on this big push to connect all these neighborhoods that have previously just been disrupted by busy roads and non-walkable areas. So like right now with Ball Arena, a lot of this is just parking lots and you can't really cut through these. They're going to make these all walkable in and out. You've got the light rail that is going to be going just on the side of the property here. And then you're going to have bridges that come across these major highways and like the South Platte River that's over here on the left-hand side of the screen.
Now, with some of these renderings, Eli, and you see like some of that stuff up north, it's just buildings. It doesn't show anything in regards to like Elitch Garden. So, but those could also just be vague little fillers because they're not really focused on it. Now, this is probably one of the most detailed, best renderings of an aerial view of like what everything is going to look like. And in this rendering, just to, as you guys are looking at this on the screen, just to the right of all of those huge buildings, that's Six Flags Elitch Gardens. That, now I know it's to the right as we're looking at it on the screen. From a directional standpoint, that's just north of all of that build out.
Yeah. Yep. And you can see the old football stadium over here on the top of your screen here.
Can we zoom in on that just a little bit?
Yeah.
So there's your current stadium right there.
Yep.
Yeah. For the Denver Broncos, you've got a couple of walkways that kind of go under the highway. Eli, see the highway right there to the left?
Yep. Right here.
There's like a walkway that goes under all of that and under the bridge. And then literally funnels into a gas station and a parking lot at the north of all these buildings. So that little empty vacant railroad spot where the tracks pass it and then all these buildings, you've got an old vacant gas station, you got a bunch of parking, and you just got some like storage stuff from railroads. So that's all going to be developed. But again, definitely going to need some more parking here. So I'll be curious what they do at the Bronco Stadium once the new one's built.
Right. So guys, just to reemphasize how cool this is and why I personally get so excited, in just this one screenshot right here, you've got the Platte River, the River Mile development, which is going to be uber cool. You've got Six Flags and you have the Ball Arena area right here. There is so much coming down to just this little, square half mile, whatever it is, of Denver that is literally going to transform the entire face of Denver as we know it. And even just driving up and down I-25 is going to be vastly different than we see it from today. So I'm just going to scroll through and show you guys just a few of these renderings as to kind of, what's to come here. You see a lot of residences. You've got the rooftop pools in the back. That's a thing here in Colorado. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. Eli, can you go back two more from where you're at right now? These are these big, I know these don't seem that important, guys, because if you're not local to Colorado, you don't realize how some of these like underpasses or overpasses where you're literally the only sidewalk, like main sidewalk area around Ball Arena, you're literally on a sidewalk on Spear.
Yeah.
And you have to like literally walk down and around and over, and there is no commute in between in that section. So a lot of these are going to be like these bridges and these sidewalk ways that stay in between and keep you off of Spear and keep you directly to where you want to interchange between, some of these building developments and the actual stadium or arena.
Yeah. And this is exactly what we mean when we talk about, walkability within your own community. So if you're living down here and you're going to these events and you're working down there, there's very few places where you can walk to work, walk to a restaurant, walk to home outside of maybe Cherry Creek, Cherry Creek North in Denver. But this is, the future of Colorado as we know it coming up here. So personally, really excited for this. In addition to our sports teams, again, just live music venues, with Denver being at least some type of major landmark, you do see the types of like I don't know. Well, who are the big people that come here? Justin Bieber, right? If he's still doing his
All of
thing,
them. I mean, we get a lot of great
all of them.
concerts, but I'm excited. Like, you get Chris Brown. We had Chris Brown this year. You get Jason Aldean. We had the Garth Brooks 2 or 3 day tour that was here for that. You name it. We get a lot of big ones, but it gets limited, especially during the season, because if you think about it, right, January, February, March, April, like you name it, when we've got inclement weather, there's only one place you can put everybody, and that's Ball Arena. So we'll get some names. You just don't see them a lot. We've had the UFC here before. I think they've come only twice, but Denver's a very popular city for those things. And, now that we're having the retractable roof on the new Broncos Stadium, once that's built, you've got the World Trade Center that's got some stuff there where you can have it. You've got the Buell Theater and the Arts Performing Center, which still fits several thousands, and they've got several rooms for that, whether it's comedians, certain, concerts can still happen there. And then now you're adding, so you're adding all of these different things. We're just going to be able to host a lot more, iconic stars, per se, iconic performers year round, because of that, which is awesome. So just the overall entertainment value throughout each season is going to increase because we're not just, isolated to Ball Arena for concerts during the winter.
Oh yeah. So again, lots of cool things to come here. I know I keep saying that, guys, but there's just so much going on. It's crazy as we're diving into these, lives every week. Just every week you're coming across more and more and more stuff that they are, that they're adding to our already great state, which is just super cool. Now let's dive into DIA a little bit. There, if you guys have flown into DIA at all, you've probably seen a ton of construction. They've been under construction for about the past 5 years. There's a ton going on out there. There's been some major changes with their security lines. Personally, I think it's amazing some of the changes that they've made there. Even if you don't have like your pre-check and stuff like that, it's so much better. I can't remember the last time I actually stood in a significant line of more than maybe 10 minutes at DIA. Will, can you? Like it's been a while.
They've broken it up, like not only, and they've also got like security upstairs. They've got security on the other side now. So depending on which airline you're flying with, you can go specific to certain areas. But you've got 3, maybe 4 different security points now that really just breaks things up and decentralizes it a lot, which is awesome. They've got a brand new United Airlines wing that's there. Super awesome. A lot of great things about that, but just a lot of things that are getting added. I know we got some cool stuff to talk about today.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Not as big as like adding a wing for United Airlines, not as big as some of the security stuff, but just some things to look forward to. And this is like, it's almost like a guest entertainment spot, correct? However you want to articulate.
Yeah. So they're calling it the Great Hall. Okay. Now this is going to be an addition of extra security lanes. They're going from 34 to 46 lanes. So a significantly, higher amount of security lanes. So that's going to already help that a ton. And then 39 new concourse gates, which again, that's even crazy. So more flight times, more airlines, things like that. And then this particular area right here.
Real quick, I think that's going to help because the one thing that is a little difficult with DIA sometimes is if you're connecting at Denver, you're not staying at Denver, but let's say you've got a connecting flight in Denver. A lot of times you're landing and you got to go really far to your next gate just because of how things are set up. I'm guessing a lot of these new gates are just going to allow certain airlines to just, coincide and have some separation there, or just be able to have a shorter, what am I trying to say? Just like a shorter,
travel time from gate to gate.
Yeah. Because a lot of times, like people are going to, literally different terminals on the opposite side of the airport. And, I've heard those stories, right? So it's really nice when you can have it all in one spot. It also just helps with when you're local and you're traveling, just minimizing some of that, everybody going in each direction and on the train. And it just kind of like adds a bunch of unneeded, cross through traffic.
Yeah, exactly. And, one of my other, previous to something like this, but this is exactly why they're building this. One of my previous gripes about DIA is that, there's not, outside of like hanging out at the gates and then a couple random pocket places. I know on like the new gate or the new wing that they redeveloped. You said that was for United, right, Will?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that new United area is nice. There are a lot of places to hang out, but there's nowhere like this currently. Right? There's nowhere where you could go and just hang out casually for a few hours comfortably, right? Like, of course, there's restaurants and places you can post up. It's a gigantic airport. but something like this that is just massive.
You have a
And
little bit upstairs for United, like that third level. Remember, like they've got like their little, but it's just kind of exclusive to United. This is something that's going to be more congruent across the board for all airlines.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And just a very welcoming area to go hang out.
Yeah.
Now, this thing right here, this is going to be their main feature. This is a 60-foot tree with 30,000, I'm going to mess this word up, Swarovski crystals that are composing this tree. This is to mimic a cottonwood tree, which we have out here in Colorado. So again, 60-foot crystal cottonwood tree is going to be the highlight of this living room area out here.
It looks nothing like the Blue Horse. It looks nothing like some of the other stuff. I'm not sure what conspiracy is going to go on this one. DIA is full of conspiracy theories and things like that.
Oh yeah.
I'll be curious to see what this turns into.
Exactly. So bottom line, we've got more security lines. We've got more gates that are coming, significantly more gates, and more places to hang out and ideally smooth out your travel a little bit here. And
this is also nice, Eli, if you want to get to the airport early. Like, so for a lot of you that already live here, or for those of you that are looking at moving to Denver, how does that apply to you? It's like, hey, if I got a layover, but I won't have a layover, I'm going to live in Denver. Well, this is a spot that you guys can have when it comes to, hey, I want to get to the airport a little early. I want to beat the rush, but also just have some entertainment space or some things to do. Well, there you go. You've actually got a spot where you can hang out, get some work done, enjoy yourself, enjoy some interaction with, with the community or whatever it may be, and enjoy yourself a little bit while also having the benefit of getting to the airport early. So definitely something that's still a benefit, especially during the holidays and things like that. If you are trying to stay ahead of some things, or if you're just getting early for whatever reason, right? Like, this is going to be great and just give you something to utilize and enjoy while being ahead of your flights.
Yeah. And it's just cool. We got people that are coming here from, so many of our clients relocate here, and so many of them need to travel all the time. And the last thing that you guys want when you're traveling all the time is to dread going to or coming from your local airport, right? Real quick, before we get to our last topic, guys, I want to mention that again, if you haven't figured it out by now, we are real estate agents here in Colorado. So we have tons of people that move here, tons of people that relocate here from all over the country. If you guys ever want to just jump on a 30-minute Zoom call with us, whether you need to move next month or 2 years from now, and you just need to toss some ideas around, jump on a Zoom call with us, talk about some areas you like, have us give you some suggestions on areas that you like, or if you live here currently and you're looking for a change of pace or anything like that, scan that QR code, jump on a Zoom call with us. Would love to help you out, of course.
As much as we love these videos, man, we love doing this.
That's true.
Jam, we love helping you folks. So whatever we can do to help, obviously, man, we enjoy that. And we got a surprise guest coming over.
Oh, who do we got? Let's see.
Hey, what's up? What are we doing? Come here.
Who's this little guy?
This is Cam. This is my little boy. Say hi, Uncle Eli.
What's up, Cam? How you doing,
As you
buddy?
guys can tell, we invite you right into our homes, right? Like, we've got
right.
things going on, and it's always fun when the kids can come hang out.
That's awesome.
Right,
making his YouTube debut. That's awesome.
That's great, man. All right, go get some chocolate. I love you, buddy.
There we go.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Kim. He's awesome.
He's a good boy.
Now, as Will mentioned earlier in the intro to this video, he gave a teaser for our video coming out on Saturday, where we feature two of what we would consider the best communities if you are looking for I would say the epitome of the Colorado lifestyle, right? Meaning gorgeous mountain views, close mountain views, not like backseat of the theater mountain views, but up close views, proximity to state parks, proximity to water, trails right out your back door, some really, really cool things. And that is Sterling Ranch and Solstice. So for more details on those communities, watch our video on Saturday. But what we wanted to talk about in today's video was a major sports complex that has just been slotted to be built out in Sterling Ranch, and show you guys how cool this is and why this is such a big deal for not only that community, but frankly anyone that is in Douglas County. Douglas County consisting of Highlands Ranch, Castle Rock, and Parker, And then even though it's not Douglas County, let's throw Littleton in there as well, because technically Littleton and Solstice, or I'm sorry, Sterling Ranch and Solstice are both located within Littleton.
Now, I looked this up just before we got on. They're going to do jiu-jitsu mats not too far from the pickleball courts.
Are they really?
No.
Oh.
See how excited you got? See that? Did you
got
see
me
that?
excited. He 100% me excited. Now, let's dive into this just a touch here. So it says Douglas County secures land for massive Zebulon Sports Hub. So what happened here was the Sterling Ranch developers traded land with Douglas County so that they essentially gave up this 500 acres so that they could, the 46.5 acres of land they gave to Douglas County so that they could build a 500-acre sports complex. All right. Now, in this sports complex, we're going to be looking at, baseball, soccer, pickleball, any sort of sport that you can imagine that is for kids here in Colorado is going to be featured here at the sports complex. And I'm going to show you guys just a few of the renderings that they have here. So here's an outside shot of one of the main buildings that they're going to have out there. So as you can see, it is just absolutely gigantic. Let's dive into an aerial view here so you guys can see exactly what's going to go in here. So as we can see here on the top, I'll just kind of go through it for you guys. We have the multi-purpose turf field right here. So, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 4 soccer fields just on this one piece of turf right here. You have a completely separate soccer complex out here. Here's your indoor sports here. And I can't quite read this. Let me see if I can read it on here. They do have hockey.
Yeah.
They've got baseball. And that probably is about it. You can do it all here. And if you guys don't know, hockey is huge in Colorado. Yeah, it just gets a little blurry.
Does it? If you zoom in a little bit. Yes, this is a live stream.
Oh, and we see retractable sports dome. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's super cool. So you do a lot of I wonder if they're going to be doing a lot of adult flag football or just flag football tournaments for kiddos. But, a lot of things that you can do indoor and outdoor depending on what you've got going on.
Yeah, I'm super curious about this sports dome that they're going to have here. Here you've got basketball and volleyball courts, ice arena. I mean, dude, literally you name it.
Sports dome in Parker, you've got a sports dome in Centennial right now, not too far from Dove Valley, and they do a lot of indoor soccer and indoor flag football and things like that during the winter, Eli. So I wonder if it's just going to be something that gets kind of rotated depending on the season. And it looks like we got a comment running altitude. This is live. So if you got any questions or anything like that, let us know. Put them in the comments. We're happy to answer anything for you.
Now, if you guys aren't familiar with Sterling Ranch and Solstice, let me jump over to a map here real quick and show you guys where that is, because it is such a cool spot. And literally they just needed a place like this to really take it to the next level, because it is out there. Well, it's not out there. I take that back. It's not out there.
It's not out there if you're living on the west side of Denver. You've got C470 out there. C470 extended that toll road lanes, right? So that has freed up C470. Not only do they add, on C470, you've got 3 or 4 lanes in some spots now, but traditionally you have at least 3. Then you've got that toll road lane, which is a great option for folks. It's freed up a lot. But Eli, the west side of C470 and Littleton and Roxborough Park and all those areas, it's been needing things like this. Otherwise, you have to commute down into Centennial or down into Castle Rock, Colorado Springs for some things. This is going to be awesome. I mean, really the only thing you had out there was Bandimere Speedway, the drag race, Thunder on the Mountain, and that sold for commercial development. They're going to be removing that, I think, out east. But you've got smaller versions of this in and around the city of Denver and in DTC area, but something like this is phenomenal.
It is. So let me show you guys here exactly where we're talking about. So to give you guys a little bit of anchor point here we've got Denver right up here on the north side. Okay, if we come straight down I-25, they're going to run into 470, which is our main east-west highway on the south side of town. And then here on the southwest side of Highlands Ranch, just south of Chatfield State Park here, you've got Solstice, which is this community right up here, and then Sterling Ranch, which is this community right down here. Now, again, technically, this is Littleton, and this is something I want to point out because Littleton is way up here, but you've got Highlands Ranch here. Littleton technically does come down to 470, and this bunch of homes down here in Sterling Ranch.
Now, just zoom in a tad right there. If you guys just take a look, you're going to see a lot more in our video that we launch on Saturday. It's beautiful. But if you guys look from this topographical map right here, see the green, see the water. When we say you're starting to get right up on the mountains, when we say you've got access to one of the best reservoirs in Colorado, like this is awesome. This is an awesome location as far as homes. The recreational side that they're bringing, Colorado's very heavy with their club sports, their high school sports. You've got Christian Valor High School. That's not too far from this. They're one of the top in the country when it comes to athletics. Colorado loves their sports. So having a complex like this is going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to increase tournament things for high school kids, you name it. But I know you can't tell from this map, but this is such a beautiful place to be when it comes to just living.
Well, and let me come over here to our Google Earth because I think this is going to give you guys a little better perspective.
Absolutely.
So here you can see Chatfield State Park. This is essentially Sterling Ranch right here, and then I mean, just look at the views that you've got of the mountains. And honestly,
are you on?
Oh, I'm not sharing it yet. Here we go. Oh. There we go. Nice. Thank you.
Do we need like your living on the edge?
Yeah, the Top Gun music.
I always call you Maverick from Top Gun. How good you pilot this thing, man.
So this is quite literally as close as you can get to the foothills without living in the foothills.
Yeah.
Right. And I wouldn't say this, but this doesn't do it justice. Right. A lot of times it does.
No, but it is a great just depth view of like how close you are. And, you know, we got to comment Watertown Canyon's also nearby 100%. And Chatfield State Park, all great points. All great points.
And
appreciate the insert on that. Running altitude. Appreciate that.
Running altitude. If that's your screen name, something tells me you know exactly what you're talking about.
Running at altitude.
Trails.
He or she is probably awesome at all that stuff. But no, definitely appreciate the input on those things. And it's definitely great for folks that are going to be newer to Colorado and these things. And we'll probably be covering some of those as well on some of these lives. We are. So bullet point with the whole Sterling Ranch development here. If you guys are interested in Sterling Ranch at all, or you live in Sterling Ranch, this sports complex is going to be sort of the anchor landmark that is really honestly what's been needed to bring the outsiders in. Sorry if you live there and it gets more crowded, but to bring the outsiders in so that more people can see just what an incredible community this is, which is only going to bring more schools, more developments, more things to do, better community, and just overall, I'm optimistic about it. I think this is exactly what Sterling Ranch needed. I love it. If you, Eli, throw our QR code back up there a little bit as well. If you guys book a call here, happy to answer any questions that you guys have, especially when it comes to like how we can help you with real estate. But we can also get you our relocation guide or some of our area guides specifics when it comes to what you guys are looking at, whether it's relocating to Colorado or you're already here and you just want more specifics on some of these areas, especially some things like Watertown or Chatfield State Park. We've got a lot of those highlighted in our area guide. So again, if there's any specifics we can answer in addition to this live here, just some things that you guys would like to have that's free. It's for you. It's mobile friendly. It goes right onto your phone. And just having that for your own record of reference, you know, as much as you need to reference. Happy to give that, guys. Happy to give that to you guys here. Yeah. And guys, again, as a reminder, we are on here live every Tuesday at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. So that'd be 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific if you're out there in California. But we love you guys tuning in, letting us know you're here watching, asking your questions in real time. This is one of the best ways to learn about anything you want to learn about Colorado. And we do post new videos every Saturday where we typically are doing deep dives into specific neighborhoods or towns or cities. And then our Tuesday lives are more for the future of Colorado, new developments that are coming. But we're happy to talk about anything on these with you guys and answer any of your questions. 100%. 100%. What else we got for them, Eli? Is that about it? That's it, man. Man, these are awesome. Some of these could even, you know, like when we talked about when running altitude, mentioned a couple of things, you know, there's even more that we can dive into. And I'm sure as we've gone broad, just to give a bigger scope, especially as we're coming into 2026, and as we lead into 2026, giving just a broader scope of just Colorado in general with the major developments. But as we do those majors and go broad, we can start narrowing it down and cover Roxborough Park specifically and Chatfield State Park specifically, and and even cover just Ball Arena specifically with everything, especially as some of those developments progress, as we get more information and things like that, as we get more photos on some of the work that's been done. I'm sure through these next couple of years, especially in 26, we'll have some more information on those as well.
Perfect. Well, appreciate you guys watching us tonight. We'll keep an eye out for our video on this area specifically on Saturday, and then we'll plan on seeing you guys next Tuesday. And happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
It's almost Thanksgiving. It's actually getting a little chilly. I know we haven't quite had snow yet in the Denver metro area. Eli's shirt is not depicted of tonight. It's a little bit chillier. I
got my pumpkin spice over here.
Can't see really? It. I'm still on my zero calorie.
There you go. This is a pumpkin spice shirt, I feel, though.
Yeah. Either way, we're excited for the holidays. We hope all of you enjoy some friends and family over Thanksgiving.
Right.
Get any questions or anything we can help with on your real estate needs, we would love to. Enjoy the video Saturday, but we will see you live next week at 6 p.m.